How about now? Can you hear me now? Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, you fucking A. Oh, my Christ. Hi, tech. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I haven't used this scene since last season, and I thought I fixed all the settings, but I guess it wasn't fixed. Good morning, 8-Bit. How are you? I don't know. I heard Kick has been down, but good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope everyone's having a good Sunday. Yes. Good morning, Pixie. How are you? How's the weather in Florida? I'm hoping everything else is going to be fine. Like I said, I thought I went over all the settings and everything looked good, but you know, I'm just gonna, I'm not really sure. We'll just leave it like that. I'll have to go over everything again. I thought I was doing good. Damn it, you know? You, King Salò. Oh my goodness. That is adorable. Did you post a picture yet in the Discord? Hello, Don. How are you? Nice evil, everybody. How you doing, Joshua? If this is your first time here for Coffee Chat of Horrors, FYI, channel points are off. The sounds are off. This is just a talk show, so there is no other fancy stuff. The bot is working, so you could do heists, you can get your limbs, some of the channel points are working, like you are able to grab your limbs with your channel points. Kaneki, good day, good day. You're drinking some Dunkin' Donuts coffee with peppermint mocha crema. Nice, nice. I'm drinking black Keurig McDonald's espresso. Reaper, how you doing? Hello, Ash. Good morning or good afternoon. You're 2 hours behind me, right? No, I'm 2 hours ahead of you. It is Fa's birthday. She turned 20 today. Yes, it is. Just excited for this CCOH and celebrating Fa Ying's 20th birthday. Yes, she turns 20. My goodness gracious. And I'm excited to talk about Pier Paolo Pasolini. He lead a very interesting life. Very interesting life. I haven't posted a pic of him yet. He's okay. We're gonna give some juju. Can we give some juju to King Salò? It's a kitty that Pixie is taking care of. Yeah. But yes, I'm excited to talk about Pier Paolo. He leads a very interesting life. And just a quick note that with Coffee Chat of Horrors being simulcasted on numerous platforms, Twitch is the only platform that has ads. So when an ad does pop up, we are going to pause and sidetrack. Because I don't like anybody missing anything over on Twitch. But, you know, did you hide it behind a paywall? I don't like that. So, hello, Sick Nasty. How are you? I'm happy to be back for CCOH. Long time no see, Sick. We're on season 8. Can you believe that? We've been doing this for 8 years. We're on season 8. Season 8, episode 1. I'm going to be taking recommendations for any movies. Reaper 1923, who is in the chat with us, he is my partner in crime when it comes to Coffee Chat of Horrors. All of the picture graphics that you're going to see today in the chat is created and done by Reaper 1923. Even the thumbnail that I used is part of Reaper 1923's artwork for CCOH. We did watch VHS Halloween last night in the Discord. I thoroughly enjoyed Fun Size is my favorite chapter out of that anthology, and The Haunted House. Seeing Rick Baker. Now, if you don't know who Rick Baker is, you'd miss him completely in the last piece. But Rick Baker is an amazing makeup artist. So amazing. And I actually liked VHS Halloween. I didn't like all the other VHSs. Like, they fell short for me. This one was good, though. I would recommend VHS Halloween, 100%. I really enjoyed it. Sidetracks are the third best part of CCOH, right? My God, do I ever get sidetracked. I squirrel real quick. And that squirreling can spiral. We usually start the CCOH portion at 11:30. So I sit and I chit chat with you guys for 30 minutes. And then we go into our deep dive. And that lasts for sometimes an hour and a half, sometimes an hour. Since we're talking about directors, I don't think it's going to be the full hour and a half. And once I'm done with CCOH, then we revert back to our just chatting scene and we just chit chat for the rest of the stream. But yes, the sidetrack, I get sidetracked pretty fucking easily. I hope everyone's having a good weekend so far. Squeaks, I hope you're having a good weekend. Okay, that is all situated. Beautiful. Beautiful. Ra goes so far off the road, the GPS offline, and drives CCOH off the cliff. Yeah, you know, it's pretty bad. But it's because we talk about things. Like, it's a live horror talk show. So you, as the audience, become part of the entertainment. You know what I mean? You become part of the stream. So you're asking questions, we're having conversations. Sometimes I get asked a question or we get on a topic that spirals out of control. But I do stay on topic for the most part. Deadwalk is, you know, whipping me with the whip over there. Yeah. But it should be a good time. Hello. Hi, Tyler. How are you? AKA Satan. Good morning. I really like their their espresso roast. Oh, and look what I found. Look what I found. This was given to me as a partner for Mixer 2, Mixer Season 2. You can't see it because it's very light. But I was going through some of my boxes, and this was always in my scream room, always in the murder basement, but I had it up behind me. Because this is considered like a classic. This is a collector's thing now, because this platform does not exist. Oh, yes. Oh, aborted Satan. Oh, hello. I hope you're doing well. Yes, my mixer. I have all of my Mixer gear. When I was a partner on Mixer, they always gave us packages. I have my pajamas, my onesie. They gave us, for winter, they sent us a Christmas package, and it had a Mixer onesie in it. I still have it. When Mixer Season 2 came out, they gave us t-shirts. You know, my favorite fucking hoodie. It has holes in it, and it's like, I wear it all the time. That is from Mixer as well. Mixer used to treat us partners so fucking good. Like, so good. Hello, Wickedy. How are you? Only platform that actually gave me things and said, thank you for being a partner on our platform. So it was quite nice. Wish I had started being a streamer in the Mixer days. Yeah, Nadra, it was good and it was bad. It was good because the platform was amazing, but when it closed, it was bad because not everybody left Mixer to go to Twitch, right? So then everyone was starting all over again from zero or from a handful of people. I was lucky. A lot of the horde was already on Twitch and came on over. But there's quite a few people that I know that were streamers that were partnered on Mixer that their people did not come over to Twitch and they started from zero. So it had its pros and its cons, to be honest with you. But at least you got to be a part of the Mixer community. You got to see and experience what Mixer was about. Well, I'm on my morning walk. It's somehow 90 degrees in California in October. Well, that's beautiful, Wickedy. It's 1 degree here where I am. 1 degree. Hi, Trini. How are you? Good morning, P-Man. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. We had a little bit of audio issues this morning, but it wouldn't be a raw stream without some gremlins. Speaking of streamers, I met someone the other day who was telling me that wanted to start doing content. I briefly dropped a few pearls of wisdom on him, and I learned from you. Oh, well, thank you, Deadwalk. Streaming is a crazy animal. It's got its ups, it's got its downs. It's a lot of fun. And if you don't have to take it seriously, just do it. Just have fun. I miss the cat channel I used to watch. They would foster kittens. Yes. There was a lot of really cool streams on Mixer. A lot of great content that was on Mixer. I'm going to see Black Phone 2 at my local movie theater today. That's awesome, Trini. I hope you enjoy it. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I mean, I know that content creation has gone downhill since COVID. And what we consider content now, well, what some people, not what people consider content now, I don't even understand it. But it is what it is. And nowadays, I think it's even harder to break in. I think it's even harder to break into the industry, especially having it so filled with what people think is content. That's not content. I guess content is content, whatever sells, right? That's what people look at it, right? That's exactly what people look at it as, Ash. COVID blew up the content creation and influencer industry. Not in a good way, though. Not in a good way. What is considered content nowadays, bullying people online to get a reaction out of them, going to other countries and being racist so you can get it on camera. I don't consider that content. And these people spew hate. They get thousands of views and sponsors, but they spew hate. To me, that's not content. And it's sad to see the evolution of it. It should have gone differently. One streamer I know said she had no views for the first 3 months and only a single figure. Yeah. P-Man, when I first started streaming, I streamed to 0 people. 0. I didn't have one person in my channel. It was like that for, I can't even tell you how long. And then the first person, and I remember my first person, she's still with us. The first person that ever stepped in my stream was Blue Suede Haze. And that was almost 9 years ago. She came into my stream. I was playing Outlast Trials, the very first one. And I had bangs at that time. And Blue is still with us, even though she's not always in the stream. She's still around and comes in every now and again. And then when I moved over to Mixer Beam at the time, my very first viewer was 7 of 7. I streamed to one person for a while. But when I went to Beam, the partners on Beam, like Rocket Bear and Cranky Canuck, they rated me. And the partners on Mixer Beam at the time were amazing. They rated everybody. They meshed everyone's community together. It didn't matter how small you were or how big you were. I had a 200-person raid. And at that time on Beam, that was fucking huge. Which then I met people, which then they slowly started coming into my stream as well and seeing them into other people's streams. We would always raid. So, yes, he does. Yes, he does, Deadwalk. 100%. Yeah. 7 of 7 still comes in here to this day. One of my second people that came into my streams was Vapin Gamers. I still talk to Vapin. Vapin makes content on a platform called Rumble. So we still keep in touch. But for a while, you will stream, unless you're a part of a community. Okay, so for example, the Horde. If you're a new streamer, but you've been a part of the Horde, of course, I'm going to shout you out and tell the Horde to go over and say hey and hang out with you. That's what being part of a community is about, right? It's about supporting one another. And that will there help you gain a view or 2, maybe 5, maybe 10, who fucking knows? But that's how we all intermingle. And that's how I still try to do it, even though I don't really raid people anymore because I multi-stream on platforms. Maybe I'll figure that out. But it's you know, and it sucks when you stream to 0 because I stream to 0 and I talk to myself a lot. By myself. I played Destiny, I played Overwatch, I played Friday the 13th and Dead by Daylight with GTA 5. And then I met SSJ. I met a lot of people, Mischief Maker, especially on Beam. The COVID lockdowns was the boom for streamers, but now people can go out and do, well, yeah, P-Man, and you're not wrong. Hi, Kirby, how are you? Zombie, how are you doing, Zombie? How's your day going? How is your weekend? But if you pop in trying to build your community off Ra and the Horde, we see you, and it's not happening. 100%. And we've had that happen before. I don't mind supporting Horde members because we are a community. I don't mind supporting them. I don't mind shouting them out. I have no issues. However, there are those that will come in here and try to baby back off of my work and utilize me just to be able to not bother with me again after they get some of the horde into their stream, which we see often. And it has happened a lot in this community. That's why we change things in the Discord. But that is whatever. It is what it is. People like that don't really make it in the industry. They end up quitting later on because people see what they are really about, right? Being genuine is always going to benefit you. There was a tweet on Twitter that I actually reposted because the guy didn't understand why people watch streamers, why people watch people who game, and why, because it's a one-way road, he was basically saying. So I responded to the reason why I stream, and what I look at content creation is making a community, being in a place where you belong, right? We all are looking for a place where we can call home, a place where we can sit down and chit chat with others, a place where we can be ourselves, make a connection. Some channels like this one do that. We're all about community, but then there are other channels that aren't. So it's really dependent on what you're looking for. And I honestly think that it's more for community and belonging somewhere than anything else. So, and I told them, like, in our Discord, we have Halloween parties, we have a Krampus party, we have community game night, we have hangout sessions. It's not just about streaming. It's not just someone watching me play video games. It's having conversations. It's seeing how people are doing. When they're having a hard time, there's a place to vent, right? And that's another thing I told that guy, build a real community. Yes, build it around you, right? Don't worry about the game that you're playing. You see Stephen King? No, I haven't seen it. No, I haven't seen any movies in the movie theater at all. I don't have time right now. I don't have time. Shit. My movie theater is only open. Okay, so my movie theater is only open at specific times on specific days. I live in a small area, and ever since COVID, it basically killed the movie theater. So they're only open up at specific times, and the times that they're on and open, I can't go. Oh, nothing sick. Good morning, Donnie. How are you? Yes, Lumia, man. We were just talking about building a community, and that we will see those that try to piggyback off of others, right? Becoming a part of a community and genuinely being a part of that community is something that you want to do. Plain and simple. You want to be a part of that community. You don't want to befriend that person to piggyback off of them, because in the end, people will see that. Their community members will see that. It's really dependent on what you want out of your community as well. Do you want a community, or do you just want fans? Right? I wanted a community. I wanted to hang out with people. I wanted to play video games. I wanted to have fun. I didn't want fans, if that makes any sense, right? But streaming is not easy, especially if you want to make it big and you want to make it an income. It's definitely a lot harder. And Zombie, thank you for your 20 stream streak. Oh my goodness. Ash, 115. Dawn, 60. SSJ, 15. Holy shit, guys. Thank you so very much for your stream streaks. I greatly friggin' appreciate that. Thank you so very much. It makes sense. Fans can be creepy as fuck. Right? I've never looked at people watching my stream as viewers, or I've never looked at them as fans. It's just, yeah, I'm not a celebrity. You know what I mean? I'm just somebody who plays fucking video games and chats. Saving mine for tomorrow. Yes, you hit 60. That's awesome, Deadwalk. I don't really see the point in going into another person's community and using them. The world runs a collaboration, not taking advantage of everyone. Yeah, you'd be surprised at how often it has happened, though. I resemble that remark. I do greatly appreciate you guys and your stream streaks. I greatly appreciate you coming into my stream, even if you're not here all the time. The fact that you want to be here is friggin' awesome. The streak was bigger, but hey, what? Yeah, I know. Look at Don's. Don's streak was probably the biggest, and his was deleted. Hello, Ace. How are you? I know I don't hear anybody come in anymore because all the sounds are muted. And I'm just like, shit. Yeah, Don's was over 300. Yeah, Don hasn't missed a stream. Don doesn't miss a stream either, just like Deadwalk. Don is on, if I'm not on live on Twitch, he's on YouTube. I'm fabulous, Ace. I am fabulous. I'm at 115. I hope it never gets deleted. At least now I can save it by watching a VOD. Yes, Ash. I hope you don't ever lose it either, but I know you're here all the time. Shit. You're another one who doesn't miss anything. Yeah, but you're the good kind of creep. Exactly, Pixie is. Exactly. All because I'm trying busy. Yep, Don. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad they added the save streak, because it sucks when you miss a stream, especially if, you know, you're testing things out, which I've had to do. I've had to test things out so people lose their stream streaks. Now that you have it to where you can watch a VOD or a clip from that stream and it continues to count. So you're not really missing out. And watching a VOD on Twitch, it's cool. Watching your VOD on YouTube is better. I mean, we don't ever get any money off of our VODs. When you guys watch the videos and they have ads, we don't make any money off of that, from my understanding. You think they should do a remake of Rawhead Rex? No, they shouldn't. They should just leave it. Leave Rawhead Rex alone. We don't need any more remakes. That's a great movie on its own. I don't know why people want to remake things all the time. Which sucks, because it doesn't need a remake. All right, we've got 5 minutes. Yeah, I know, Nidra. I mean, some remakes are really good. I really like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. I love the House on Haunted Hill remake. I love the 13 Ghost remake. But they changed it, right? They didn't just remake it and then put their own vision on it. They redid a few things in all of those films and put their own spin on it, which made it good. Rawhead Rex might not have the best SFX ever, but it's perfect. Exactly, Pixie. It's fucking perfect. Yep, the Night of the Dead, yes, Night of the Living Dead remake in 1990. Tom Savini, Tony Todd, brilliant. But for the most part, remakes fall flat. 100%. They always fall flat. For oh god, yeah. What are some of the most horrible remakes out there? I can't even think of them. Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street. I've never seen it, but it's shit. Psycho? Oh, you're talking to the one with Vince Vaughn? Yeah. You can't replace Anthony Perkins. I'm sorry. The Thing is a good remake of the original movie. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that there are 3 movies. And 2 of them are remakes of the original. Let's not talk about that remake. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 in 2010. Noah's are, yeah, they are. They are. I will agree with you. I did like the violence in Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, though. Evil Dead looked. Oh, Evil Dead 2013 was really good. I don't really consider that a remake, to be honest with you. The Fly is another brilliant one. David Cronenberg. The original had Vincent Price in it. Rhea, I don't know if this is who you consider a psychological thriller, but Cape Fear with Robert De Niro. It's a good movie. Cape Fear is a good movie. You love Friday? Yeah, Friday the 13th is good. The 2009 remake of Friday the 13th with Derek Mears as Jason Voorhees isn't horrible. It's not horrible. It's not my favorite, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Some of them have redeeming qualities, though. I can't think of anyone at the top of my head at the moment. Off the top of my head at the moment. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about that. The teenage dialogue. Yeah. I need to actually rewatch Rob Zombie's Halloweens. I do love the Friday the 13th remake. It's pretty good in my opinion. It's not bad at all, Trini. Not at all. It's not my favorite. I have too many favorites in the franchise, but it's not horrible. Derek Mears plays a good Jason Voorhees. Yeah, but once was enough with the 09 Friday the 13th remake. Yeah, I still watch it when I do my whole franchise watch. I even watch Jason Goes to Hell because it's part of it, even though I don't like it. All right, I think it's about that time. It is about that time. We're going to start Coffee Chat of Horrors. And just a quick little reminder, you are a part of the entertainment. What's up, Speedy? Oh, shit, it's Friday, bitches. I forgot to turn those off. Just a minute, Jeff. Woo! All right, I forgot to turn those off. I completely forgot about those. Entrance. All right, there we go. It's Friday, bitches. I love how they show Jason's psychological state in 2009 remake. I just hate Whitney, aka Whiny. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the remake, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I watch it. It's not like I've never watched the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, right? Okay, so quick little things first. Coffee Chat of Horrors. If this is your first time here during a CCOH, you are part of the conversation. You are part of the entertainment. Ask questions. Be a part of the conversation. Have conversations. Arthur, hello. Good day. How are you? Second, all sounds and channel points are off except for the basic ones that don't make any noise. 3, if you're watching me on a site that has no ads, we do a pause for 1 minute and 21 seconds because Twitch has ads. So we will pause to if an ad pops up because I don't want anyone to miss out on any information. The CCOH lasts for an hour. Well, yeah, an hour and a half, technically from 11:30 to 12:30. Sometimes we finish sooner, and if we finish sooner, then we just switch over to our just chatting scene. I do an ending for YouTube, so you don't have to leave at that point. I just do an ending for YouTube so that in the VOD it's there. Make sense? I don't even remember the plot, just how god awful the dialogue was. Teenage girls are obnoxious, but that was truly horrible to watch. Yes, doo-doo. I know, right? Doo-doo. All right, let's get into Coffee Chat of Horrors.
You like scary movies and coffee.
The following show is based on research on horror movies and what goes on behind the scenes of your favorite scary movies. Horde Entertainment or ReAnimateHer is not responsible for the macabre and horror that you are about to witness. Viewer discretion is advised.
Haha, I love that disclaimer. Good morning, my daywalkers. I am ReAnimateHer, your queen of horror, and this is Coffee Chat of Horrors, the only horror show that takes its coffee like it's magic, and that is black. Today's screams come from one of Italy's most controversial and brilliant filmmakers, Pier Paolo Pasolini. So buckle up, my ghouls, as we traverse the realms that nightmares are made of. Pier was born on March 5th, 1922 in Bologna, Italy, and tragically murdered on November 2nd, 1975 near Rome. Pasolini was far more than just a filmmaker. He was a poet, a novelist, a painter, and a very outspoken political voice, known for his socially charged, unorthodox style and his fearless critiques of power, faith, and hypocrisy, which we all know all three of those are in our everyday daily life. And he led a very interesting life with a lot of traveling and trying to understand the world. He was the son of an Italian officer, so Pasolini spent his youth moving from city to city as his father was reassigned. He studied art history and literature at the University of Bologna, and during World War II, he found refuge among the peasantry in Friuli. This experience shaped his Marxist beliefs and his lifelong empathy for the oppressed. And if you ever watched any of his movies, it literally spews out. His political view and his message spews from all of his films. And if you've ever read one of his novels, which we'll also get into some of his novels, if you've read any of them, you would understand where he comes from. Well, you know, everyone can have their view, right? After the war, Pasolini endured years of poverty in Rome. The period inspired his first two novels, Ragazzi di Vita in 1955 and Una Vita Violenta in 1959. Brutally honest depictions of slum life filled with thieves, prostitutes, and the forgotten. The same themes carried into his film's debut of Accattone in 1961, which captured the despair of Rome's underworld in stark poetic realism. He was a huge voice for what society would consider undesirables. Medea, the Tamron, Oedipus Rex, and Corpse Salò are my favorite of Pasolini's films. They are great films, and I would recommend them, except Salò, because sometimes it's too aggressive for people. But those ones right there, Oedipus Rex was really good. Pasolini often used eroticism, violence, and depravity, not for the shock value, but as a reflection of politics and religious corruption. His work like Teorema in 1968 and Pigsty challenged authority and societal norms. These ones, his two works here, are they're great. If you have not seen them or you have not read them and you're interested in Pier, I would highly recommend a lot of his work, especially his classic literature, because those ones aren't as aggressive as Salò. And unfortunately, Pier never got to see Salò in the theater or complete it. It was completed, but he was murdered as it was being put out there. But those, I would agree with Pixie. Those are good films for Pier. Now, he was arrested in 1962 for blasphemy over his segment in Rogo Paggi, but that didn't stop Pier. And arrested for blasphemy. Could you imagine being arrested for blasphemy? Because of his work. And in Italy, he's not the only director to be arrested for their work. The director who created Cannibal Holocaust, he was arrested and put on trial to where he had to bring the actors into the courthouse to prove that they were still alive. So Italy has a history of arresting filmmakers, and you wonder why some of these filmmakers are rebellious and rebel. So it sounds like the point of Pasolini's films could be lost on viewers taking the, yes, Deadwalk, you are 100% right. When people watch a film and it's shocking and it has some like crazy shocking stuff in it, they seem to forget what the film is portraying, and all they see is the violence or the cruelty in the film. And it goes right over people's heads. But there's a difference between people who watch movies and people who watch a movie and don't understand what they just watched. And that's a lot of filmmakers, a lot of people who watch movies. They just see the movie for what it is. They don't see the message. Your Italian is on point. I had to use like Google pronunciation for some of these friggin' words, because I was like, oh, how do I pronounce this? Because I pronounce things by the way I think they're spelled. Yeah, that's always fun. But yes, like again, Cannibal Holocaust had a really important message. It had more than just one message in it, but people can't get past the visuals that they've seen, right? And the same thing with Pierre's movies. Pier, he used eroticism and violence for his movies and his novels and depravity, because you know what? You find that in politics and religion. Plain and simple. I mean, all three of those are in religion and politics. And he spoke out against a lot of that in his films and in his books. The fact that a lot of these places, Rome and Italy, were trying to hide their undesirables, which are, poor people. For the most part, it was the poor people who had to turn to a life of crime or prostitution because they couldn't afford to eat. They couldn't afford to house themselves or their families. And these were considered the scum of society, even though your fat rich cat who is scheming people out of their money and doing nasty things to other people just because they were rich. In Cannibal Holocaust, though, the main character literally tells the audience the point of the movie, though. Yes, they do. And they do. They tell them the point of the movie, and the visuals in the movie as well tell you. The truck with the signage on the side of it. You see that again later on. There's a lot of things that people miss in movies because they're just so appalled or offended by the art that's on the screen. Yeah, he's an old school Italian mob era. Yes, and this is no more snoozes, guys. So we're going to be stuck with ads, which is not a big problem for me. So after he was arrested for blasphemy, he made his next film, The Gospel According to Matthew, in 1964, which was hailed one of the most authentic portrayals of Christ ever put to screen. Seriously, if you haven't seen The Gospel According to Matthew, he really rips apart the realism and the empathy. I generally can't think of a better filmmaker to handle dissect, given both of their political views and rebellious natures. 100% Pixie. 100%. But it is sad that a lot of people miss it. Because they're so offended by what they've seen visually. And it kind of sucks, because there are people who refuse to watch Cannibal Holocaust, even though there's an edited version that takes out the animal deaths, which is a very important message, 100%. So anyways, he created The Gospel According to Matthew in 1964, and it literally was hailed the most authentic portrayals of Christ ever put to screen. Pasolini stripped down realism and empathy for humanity won widespread acclaim, even from critics who once condemned him. He was not overly liked as a filmmaker or a novelist because he was very real with his work. He didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't, make it nicer than what it actually is. He utilized his experiences and fought for the oppressed. And he did. And you can see that in his work. Throughout his career, Pasolini alternated between personal projects and adaptations of classic literature, all filtered through his unique lens. And yes, he had a unique lens. Oedipus Rex, 1967, The Decameron in 1971, The Canterbury Tales in 1972, and Arabian Nights, 1974. You may not seem like, okay, I'm not interested in these films, but I would suggest to check it out, especially if you're interested in Pier Paolo Pasolini's work, but don't want to watch Salò. Salò was very political, and most likely the reason why he was brutally murdered. A lot of his films had his political views in them, and Salò was really big into that, which is a shame. But yes, watch it at your own risk, Salò. And of course, his final and most notorious film, Salò, or The 120 Days of Sodom, which was released in 1975, a brutal allegory fusing Mussolini's fascist Italy with the writings of the Marquis de Sade. The film was banned across multiple countries for years due to its unflinching violence and political symbolism. A Serbian film, yep. Yeah, 100%. A Serbian film speaks about what the people of Serbia go through. But again, people can't get over the visuals in the Serbian film. So they don't watch it or they talk bad about it. Now, just days after completing, and literally days after completing Salò, which is super sad. So just days after completing Salò, Pasolini was found brutally murdered near Rome. 17-year-old Giuseppe Pino Pelosi confessed, claiming a violent altercation. But decades later, Pelosi recanted, alleging that 3 men linked to political groups killed Pasolini because of his controversial films and political beliefs. The case was reopened in 2005, but dismissed due to a lack of evidence. More recent theories point towards a contract killing by the Banda della Magliana, a criminal organization tied to far-right extremists. Now, we have seen in our own world in 2025 someone be brutally murdered for their views and thoughts and opinions on matters of political beliefs. This is not something that's new. This is something that has been going on since the stand of time, and Pasolini was assassinated. Many people believe he was assassinated because of what his films portrayed the political system as, especially Mussolini. Salò is a definitive criticism of fascism. It's a brilliant in its awfulness. It is 100% Pixie. You are not wrong. And that is why a lot of people think he was murdered, because of the portrayal of the politics and symbolism in his films and how raw and grotesque the visuals were. But it definitely puts down upon it what politics are about, especially at that time in Italy, especially how people were being treated in that time. And you also have to remember the era of the movies that these were made in. No matter what the real story was, 100%. Oh, we got an incoming ad. Okay, thanks. I did not see that. I am 100% convinced that this was a political murder. I'm 100. Me too, Pixie. Me too, Pixie. I believe he was murdered for his political views and his movies. 120 Days of Sodom sounds like a pain in the ass. Yeah, I'm in my dark humor. The movie is not for the weak. It is not for the weak. This is why I don't recommend Salò. I would recommend it if you enjoy these types of films and can sit through it. But there are a lot of people, I'm going to say like 85% of the population can't handle it. This is why I don't recommend it. But if you're somebody who likes these types of films that can sit down and watch past the visuals, get past the shocking visuals, to see a more deeper meaning, 100% watch it. If I give you a disclaimer to not, watch it at your own risk, take that at full face. You will not look at chocolate cake the same way. Chocolate cake is not for the weak. No, 100%. And you will not look at it the same way again, unless you can handle it. Yes, politics get nasty in real life and turn to brutal consequences based on one's beliefs and views. You're not wrong, zombie. You're not wrong. Ad break has begun, guys. But with, if I tell you watch at your own risk, I'm not being, I'm not making it, dramatic. I watch a lot of shocking and disturbing films because I like when a film can give me emotion. I like when I can feel something from the film itself. I love slashers. They're fucking mindless, to be honest with you. I love paranormal movies. These movies are just good old pastimes. This is just pass the time. I love when a film can make me feel. And the shocking and disturbing genre is my favorite genre because the films that I watch hit me on a deeper level than just visually good time. I understand the meaning. I am somebody that watches a film differently than the majority of the population. When I watch a movie, I watch for what the movie is saying, not just visually, but what the message is being portrayed. A lot of movies don't have a message. But believe it or not, the majority of horror movies, even your most mindless slasher, has a message. Especially dealing with in the 80s. Having sex before marriage, doing drugs, doing anything that's considered a sin, you will be murdered for. That was the message in the 80s slashers. I think people often hear someone say, don't watch it, and morbid curiosity takes over. Certain movies they end up regretting. 100%. This is why I tell you guys, watch at your own risk. If it's coming from me, believe me. and I'm nerding who sits and digs into the philosophy and the psychology of slashers. Yes. Because there is psychology even behind it. Like I said, in the previous films, Friday the 13th, Halloween, even going back into Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there are messages behind each of these films. A lot of people don't even see it. There is psychology behind a lot of these films and messages being brought forth in a lot of these films, right? And a lot of people don't realize it. You'll hear people say horror isn't political. The fuck you say horror isn't political? Horror has always been political. Even the first vampire movie, Nosferatu, in Germany, silent film, back in the 1920s, was political. And it came out at a time where the people were in despair, were in depression. Horror has always been political. It's just not as thrown in your face as some other movies or some other directors. We do know quite a few directors. Look at Jordan Peele. A lot of his films are political and very in-your-face politics. There are people who like that. Deadwalk, watch them with me. I'll make you wish you could miss the messages. I miss a lot of these messages. Well, because a lot of people aren't looking for a message when watching a movie, right? Sex before marriage, how dare you? That was one of the reasons why, people, you watch the movie and you notice the good girl is the one that survives. The whore always dies. The jock always dies. Do you know what I mean? Germany in 20s was way worse than the US in the 20s. Hell, even zombies movies can be seen as some sort of socio-political economic statements 100%. There isn't a movie in horror that doesn't honestly have some sort of message or background. Thank you so much, George, for the follow. Welcome to the crypt. Deadwalk, most zombie films are totally socially political. Oh my God, are they ever, Pixie? 100% they are. Reaches over and gently takes the wheel. I know, right? I got to get back on the road. I'm good, George. I'm good. How are you? Happy Sunday. If you are just joining us, we are discussing Pier Paolo Pasolini, a very controversial and brilliant filmmaker from Italy. We're talking about his films because his films were both political. They were definitely political. They literally showed you the raw side and the symbolism as well. Well, thank you, George. I appreciate it. I'm from Alberta, Canada. Now, I've become more and more of a fan of fan-made horror lately. Fan-made horror is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Oh, okay, cool, George. Nice. Now, Pasolini. Oh, you're from Canada as well, George? Very cool. I'm from Alberta. I'm in Alberta, I should say. I'm in Alberta. But I mean, our side course of going into like slashers having meanings and having zombie films having meanings stays on track with what we're discussing with Pier Paolo, because his films all had a message. They all had a meaning to him. Anti-fascist. He was an anti-fascist and an atheist communist, which he did put a lot of his stuff. Now, if you can't watch his films because of the visual grotesqueness that happens in them, it's understandable. Not everybody has a stomach for that. I am on Discord. Oh, from Toronto. Nice. Possibly, George. So Pasolini's life was filled with contradictions. He was the son of a soldier who once saved Mussolini's life. Yet he became a fierce anti-fascist and atheist communist, even joining the Italian Communist Party in 1947 before being expelled 2 years later after a scandal. He served in the Italian army during World War II, was captured after Italy's surrender, and later returned to his art, channeling trauma and politics into a creative rebellion. Pasolini also wrote poetry from the age of 7. From the age of 7. Like, age of 7. Poetry from the age of 7. I mean, what child is writing poetry at 7? Not all of them. And began writing in Friulian dialect, which was his mother's native tongue. He even owned a castle in Viterbo, north of Rome, and in 1966 served on the Berlin International Film Festival jury, which I found that was pretty cool. Being a filmmaker himself and sitting around and watching other films being made for a film festival and being part of the jury. Pasolini believed cinema was a non-conventional, non-symbolic language, one that expresses reality through reality itself. And we've always heard art imitates life, right? Art imitates life. A movie is a piece of art, and it does depict life. Maybe not in the same visuals, like if you're watching Friday the 13th, obviously it's not the same kind of what's going on in this day and age, but it still has its meaning behind it. Suicidal tendencies are playing in your ear. Nice. Have fun. Have a great walk. It's the land of winter. It's always cold up here. We in the States call it the North Pole, aka is Rod's current location, colder than a witch's titty. Exactly. It is cold up here. I think the last time I looked, it was 1 degree. 1 degree Celsius. So his essay, Cinema de Poesia, 1965, shaped how filmmakers and critics think about film to this day. He was a mentor, and one of his favorite filmmakers was Sergei Parajanov, and he traveled extensively through India, Africa, and the Middle East, capturing global perspectives that would later infuse his work. So he didn't just, talk about or showcase just Italy oppression. He went around the world in places where oppression was pretty friggin' huge, and still to this day. Seeing different perspectives around the world and taking those perspectives and utilizing them in his work. Now, you also have to remember the time. I'm not talking about him traveling the world right now in 2025. We're talking about in the 1960s, the 1950s, the 1960s, the 1970s, right? Russia. What's Russian? How Will I Laugh Tomorrow and The Miracle are my favorite suicidal tendency songs. Nice. Always a Russian involved, Speedy. Hello, Purple Butterfly. How are you? We are just discussing Pier Paolo Pasolini. He was a filmmaker in Italy. Sergei, the guy you talked about. Oh, yes, Sergei Parajanov. Yes. I don't even know if I'm saying his name correctly. I try. But he was one of Paolo's favorite directors, right? So, which I thought was pretty cool, learning that about him. In the end, Pasolini became one of the defining public intellectuals of 20th century Italy, a man whose art, politics, and death remain as provocative and mysterious as his films. It's really sad that we don't have a definitive answer as to why Pier Paolo was murdered. But again, the senses are pretty clear that it was because of his political view. Sergei, basically. Sergei. There we go. Yeah, I love the topic. I just got some scary games. Names are you? Yeah, share, Purple Butterfly. What games did you get? But yes, he was beaten to death, right? He wasn't, hello, how are you? He wasn't shot. He was beaten to death. Yeah, so that's pretty vicious. And usually when someone is beaten to death, it's a very personal killing. I'm good, Blood Drinker. How are you? It's not as detached as shooting somebody. You know, you can be far away and shoot somebody and murder them. This was an up close. This was personal. This was hatred, right? Which really sucks. And they never caught the people. A 17-year-old, I can guarantee you, this 17-year-old was given money to his family if he said that he committed the crime. Because we know back then in that time, poverty was huge. A lot of undesirables were looking for money to take care of their family, whether that was in drugs, crime, prostitution. So this supposed criminal group, the Banda della Magliana, which is a far right extreme criminal organization, did they put Giuseppe up to this? Like basically saying, we'll take care of your family if you take on the fact of this crime, which I think is what happened. I mean, we know what the mafia is like. We know what organized crime syndicates are like. I wouldn't put it past any of them. Hi, Patrick. How are you? A beating is 100% personal. Yes. The kid basically recanted years later saying that it was 3 men. Like, he was severely beaten. Like, severely beaten. Not just beat up. It was pretty fucking severe. I would definitely say 3 men beating compared to one 17-year-old beating a 50-something-year-old man. I mean, yeah, I don't know. When you take a look at the 17-year-old boy that supposedly brutally beat to death Pasolini, you kind of question that in itself. Devour, Emotionless, Last Ticket, Skin Freak, No, I'm Not Human. These are just suggestions. Yes, Purple Butterfly. Those are great games. Devour is a lot of fun. I want Skin Freak. I love puppet combo games. I want to get No, I'm Not Human as well. Ever heard of John Gotti? Yes, I do. He was an American mob boss. Oh, God, yeah. There's a lot of mob bosses in America. 2 beating and 1 lookout. Yeah, it was torture by beating that ended his death. Yeah, 100%. Hi, Slipknot. How are you? And Pixie, it was. He wasn't just beat up. Like, when you say someone was beaten to death, he wasn't just beat up. He was brutally, oh, God. They did the things that were broken on him when they found him. It wasn't just a beating. And I doubt this 17-year-old did that much damage by himself. So the topic today, Purple Butterfly, on Coffee Chat of Horrors, we're talking about a director named Pier Paolo Pasolini. He was an Italian filmmaker, controversial and very brilliant filmmaker in Italy. He brought us a lot of films that were based on his political beliefs and outrage. He rebelled against faith and societal norms and politics. So he has created a lot of film. He was a poet, he was a novelist, and a filmmaker. So before he became a filmmaker, he was a poet and then a novelist, and then he started creating films. He traveled the world. He was a voice for the oppressed, and he was murdered for his views on politics in his films. We definitely say, technically, his death is a mystery on why he was murdered, but if you've seen any of his films or read any of his writings, you know that he was murdered for his political beliefs. Yes, very sad, because he passed away. He was murdered before his film, his most controversial film, Salò, was actually released. The being disconnected from chat is ridiculous. I'm sorry, Deadwalk. I'm sorry that you're having that issue. That sucks. That sucks. Our last little... So Purple Butterfly, if you're looking for some movies that are based off of Pier Paolo Pasolini, Oedipus Rex, 1967, The Decameron, 1971, The Canterbury Tales, 1972, The Gospel According to Matthew, released in 1964. Those are films. I won't recommend Salò, but I do enjoy Salò a lot. But I won't recommend it because it's not for everybody. His films are very real. He strips away all the sparkles and butterflies that people put into their films. He is very real. Yeah. Salò it is. Don't hate me. I'm not recommending it, but don't hate me on it. Because his films have a message, right? Like I said, he was a voice for the oppressed. He utilized his experience growing up poor, being considered part of the undesirable crew of people living in Italy. And he utilized that experience in his films. So he's not, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but he's not nice in his films. Ra isn't just flapping her lips when she gives a warning. No, I'm not. I watch a lot of vile shit, and I like vile stuff. I like shocking and disturbing stuff because it makes me feel something. And Pier Paolo's movies will do that to you. We would have watched Salò in the Discord if I knew those that wanted to watch it. Movies are my choice, poorly taking my responsibility always. Okay, well, that's good, Purple Butterfly. I'm used to people telling me that I'm a horrible person because of the movies that I like. Purple Salò is Desaad's 120 Days of Sodom, set in Mussolini's fascist Italy, and is extremely awful, but absolutely brilliant and disturbing and disgusting and wonderful. Those are very true right there from Pixie. Read about Salò. Read about Salò. If you know anything about Desaad's, yeah, he's unflinching in his brutal and honest depictions. Yeah. And again, like I said earlier, a lot of people can't get past the visuals. They can't. And I have been blocked. I have been called a shitty person because of the films that I watch. Like I like Salò. It's not that I liked it because it was such a great movie. It was such a great way to get his message across, showcasing the brutal he was honest. He was very brutal, and what you see in the film visually will be like, holy shit. But if you can sit through that visual and not be offended by what you're visually seeing on the TV, and listening and understanding, and now knowing that Pier Paolo was a controversial political filmmaker, you'll put it into context for you. Deadwalk unflinching is the best way to describe him. Yeah. I was called weird one for loving horror movies. Trini, people who love horror movies throughout time were always considered horrible people. Back in the day, we were called Satanists and all sorts of happy horse shit. It's not true. However, my taste in movies, I do love the shocking and disturbing. So a Serbian film, Cannibal Holocaust, Thanatomorphos, Eat, Raw. These films have messages behind them. These films literally hit you in the feelings. Not only do they make you disgust, like the feeling of disgust, the feeling of having your skin crawl because of what you're watching on television, feeling the heartbreak of what you're seeing these people go through, understanding the political message or the message at hand. I love those kinds of films. They are great. I don't watch shocking and disturbing films just for the visual shock or the grotesque shock that you see in the visuals. I watch it for that feeling. I watch it for the emotions that are brought up within me. And it's the same thing when I watch Serbian film. I'm told I'm a horrible person because I've watched it. I've watched it numerous times. I can't wait for the documentary to come out. I have a degree in psychology. What kind of person would be judging people based on what they watch? A lot, Purple Butterfly. A lot, especially over on Twitter. Oh God, I lost like 100 followers and people blocked me because I said I've watched a Serbian film. And a Serbian film is definitely aggressive, but it does have a message behind it about the Serbian people. Would you survive Camp Crystal Lake where Jason resides? It depends. It depends. Some days I just want Jason to brutally, violently murder me with a machete, but then other times I think I could survive him. But that's cool. Psychology. My daughter, my youngest spawn, is going for criminology, and she is her next semester is psychology. So I think it's very interesting. And the fact how and why people like certain films, and the fact why people like horror. You know, horror is a great way to escape the horrors of reality, because reality is super fucking scary. When you sit and think about what we are going through right now, at this day, at this time, it's quite scary compared to what you're watching on the television. And you can watch horror and feel safe and be safe in your own home. So I think that's why a lot of people like myself love horror. It's just a way to get away from the reality, because real life is fucking horrific. And if I can escape that horrific life for just an hour and a half watching somebody get brutally murdered by a character that will never come out of the TV, why not? Oh, there's a lot, Patrick. There's a lot. There's a lot. I love Christian Bale. He's one of my favorites. And I loved him in American Psycho. That one's a brilliant movie. And American Psycho, another message in American Psycho, which is about men's mental health. The novel is brilliant. Ellis wrote a great novel. I would highly recommend it. If you have not read American Psycho, read American Psycho. The Machinist. I don't think so, Arthur. Should we watch that? The Machinist? Okay, let me finish CCOH and then we can go off on shit. Rule number 1 when studying psychology: can't make judgments on people, right? People judge all the time. All the time. And this is one of the reasons why Pasolini lost his life, right? Technically, we as active watchers of the horror genre could technically be classified alongside a serial killer. Yeah, which is ridiculous, because Danielle Harris, hottest horror actor. She's very good looking, for sure. Okay, so in the end, I want to just repeat this part because it goes on with the ending. In the end, Pasolini became one of the defining public intellectuals of 20th century Italy, a man whose art, politics, and death remain as provocative and mysterious as his films. And that, my creepies, was the haunting story of Pier Paolo Pasolini, a visionary who blurred the line between beauty and brutality, and whose murder remains one of Italy's darkest cinematic mysteries. But don't you dare close that coffin lid just yet. Next Sunday, October 26th, we will be diving deep into the blood-soaked world of Lucio Fulci, the godfather of gore himself. We'll unravel his career, explore his nightmarish imagination, and watch his cult classic film, Zombie, also known as Zombie 2, in the Discord this Saturday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So brew your coffee black as your soul, grab your favorite ghoul, and join me right here on Coffee Chat of Horrors, your live horror talk show where we drink in the darkness, one scream at a time. If you are watching this as a VOD, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what is your favorite Pier Paolo Pasolini film, or you've never heard of him. Let me know in the comments. All right, now we can switch back to our just chatting scene. Pasolini was a man who ruined chocolate cake for a generation of socio-political horror fans. That he did, Pixie. You will never look at chocolate cake the same. Another horror actor, Evan Peters and Ethan Hawke. Yeah, they're great as well. Definitely, they're great. Thanks, Deadwalk. I try to keep on track. But I'm really excited to talk about Lucio Fulci. Like, really excited to talk about him. Another Italian director who uses his zombie films to talk about social issues. We are deep diving into directors this month. Yeah, Raw didn't scroll too much today. Well, you guys also helped. You guys also helped keep me on track, even though we sidetracked a little bit and got into some slashers and stuff like that. But it all kind of tied in because they all have messages, right? Even the mindless slasher has a message in it. I have yet to find coffee that black. Probably not. Like when I think someone is hot or gorgeous, doesn't mean I want to do them. I am very much more an intellectual person on that matter, or emotion on that matter. I just don't see somebody. I can see them as hot. I can see them as sexy. Doesn't mean I want to sleep with them. Italian directors are the bee's knees. She is a huge Friday the 13th fan, Slipknot. She was the one that I was talking about when I said that I need to sit down with Pixie and we need to chat and discuss the thesis and theories of Friday the 13th and Camp Crystal Lake. She's got a lot of wonderful insight as a horror fan, as a Friday the 13th fan on top of that. This is where we were talking about Jason Takes Manhattan, and I agree with her when she says Remy was having a nightmare. That would be an epic show, Ra and Pixie. I think so as well. I honestly do. Pixie has a brilliant brain, and the way she sees things in films is amazing. I'm slightly insane when it comes to Friday the 13th. Yes, she is. Hello, Artemis. How are you? All good. All good. The streams went good. We are a bit further in Alien Isolation. We did some Alien Isolation on Wednesday, but then played a different game on Friday. We'll be diving back into Alien Isolation on Tuesday. So we are a bit deeper. We are a bit deeper. And that xenomorph, man. Oof. Yeah, I think we do, Slipknot. I think Pixie and I need, even if we don't get on video and we just do audio, I think it would be a great discussion, because the both of us have our own ideas and theories, and sometimes some of our theories match in what she thinks and I bring. I can bring out the maps of New Jersey to prove that where fictional Wessex County is cannot have a water route to the harbor. 100%, Pixie. 100%. There is no way that Crystal Lake fed into the Hudson or anything into New York, for that matter. Any waterway into New York. I think it would be a killer podcast as well. I think it would be a great time. I would love to sit down with Serial Killer as well. We have a lot of insight on different movies. We also have different tastes, Serial and I, which bounce off of each other. Jason Voorhees After Dark. I just spilled coffee on my shirt. I'm 100% down to do a Friday the 13th. Awesome, Pixie. You just tell me when. And I would be down. We don't have to do video, right? Not everyone wants to be on video. I don't mind being on video, and I don't mind doing it as a podcast. That would be cool too. A yin and a yang horror convo. Well, Serial Killer and I started a podcast. It just never picked up. We never put our first episode out. It was me, Sailor, and Serial Killer. And we were doing things like fuck the franchise, and we recorded. We got that far, but then the recording got corrupted. And then it just, everybody's different time zones that we're in, definitely, it played a huge role. The time zone part definitely played a huge role, getting everyone together and committing to the podcast. Like, it was really hard. Serial works 16-hour days, right? 6 days a week. Him and I, we're able to get on, but Sailor is in a different time zone than we are, right? And then her work time. And it was quite difficult to get it on. But when we finally did, it was brilliant because we talked about Hellraiser, and it was great. We can do video if you prefer, if you don't mind me being seen with part 2, Jason's less attractive twin sister. You are not the twin sister. You're beautiful. It's music edit with clips of Friday the 13th movies. It's brilliant. Oh, I know somebody else who does that. White Bat Audio does stuff like that. I'm down for whichever, Pixie. I'm down for the audio. I can turn into a video by using pictures of Friday the 13th, right? So I would love to sit down and chat horror, whether it's live, whether it's recorded, whether it's audio or video, because I could easily turn an audio into a video by utilizing imagery of Friday the 13th. Hell, I'd consider flying up to Canadian land to do a podcast with you. You could stay right here. You're more than welcome to come here, Pixie. Nice. 12:18. So we still got a little bit of time. The horde eats their brains. But yes, Lucio Fulci is going to be a fun one to talk about. I mean, he's not as controversial as Pierre, but he's called the godfather of gore for a reason. I want to say that he's probably one of the first to bring out as much gore. I mean, Torso was pretty gory. But anyways, I would go as far as saying that he is like the creator, because the godfather of gore. And that's his nickname in the film industry. There's a scene with a piece of wood and an eyeball that I fucking can't see. I hate eyeball torture. It always messes with me. I really wanted to talk about Ellen and Twitch Death One Day. Ellen and Twitch Death One Day. What's that? What is that? Tell me about it, Purple Butterfly, and we can discuss. I am always down. Oh, Ellen DeGeneres. What about Ellen? She's a crazy person. You're talking to a clawfoot platypus, so you have no idea. Oh, DJ Twitch. I heard of the, see, when you say Twitch, I think of the platform Twitch. She is a terrible person. I'd have to educate myself on this because I don't know a whole hell of a lot about Ellen DeGeneres because I don't like her as a person. I haven't liked Ellen DeGeneres since she came out. Like, I don't like her as a person. There was something about her that I just don't like. I've never met the woman before in my life, but I don't have to meet somebody to tell that they're a shitty person. He committed suicide in a hotel, but I believe it was murder. And it probably was, Purple Butterfly. And the whole Diddy issue. Oh, God, that's a whole fucking can of worms. Yeah. Take pride in being a clawfoot, duck-billed platypus tub. I'd have to educate myself on those topics because I don't know much about it. Yeah, I don't know much about it. Almost everybody who has to deal with her says she's terrible. Because she is. Like, you can just look at her and tell that she's a horrible person. I never liked Ellen DeGeneres. I don't really know much about her anymore. I know when she first came out, I knew I didn't like her then. That's it. Yeah. You know my theory, Twitch knew about Ellen and Diddy. You know what? I wouldn't doubt it. People get murdered for the craziest things. The craziest things, right? They want you to keep your mouth shut. I mean, that ties in with what Pier Paolo Pasolini did, you know, with his films. He touched too close to home for some political people, right? And I believe her death of her ex wasn't a coincidence. It's probably not. It's probably not. You're probably not wrong. It's just proving said murder. Right? And in Hollywood, you can get away with just about anything. Which is a little crazy. But yes, next, this Saturday, we'll watch Zombie in the Discord. Zombie 2. And that movie is a good movie. Saturday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. If you, this coming, hold on, wait. I think it's our Halloween party. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, so we're gonna walk. Okay, so we have our Halloween party on the 25th of October, guys. I have to make the event today, but we do have a Halloween party. Now, we can watch Zombie. Yeah, I will look away during the eyeball thing. That's horrific. We can watch Zombie and still have our Halloween party, because our Halloween party goes on for a couple of hours. We usually get together, have some drinks, play some party games like What the Dub or Jackbox Party. And we are doing that on the 25th of October. So we can watch Zombie. I can start the movie earlier and watch Zombie. Then we can do the Halloween party right after. I think that would work. What the Dub is a lot of fun. Oh, here's Mr. Loki. Hi. Did you just come home? Hello, buddy. No, out of the cat food. Come here. Say hi. Come here. Nope, he's like, fuck you, I'm out. Dirty-minded horde. Yeah. So what platform you watch movies on? We watch it on Discord. Do you know Discord, Purple Butterfly? That's where we do a lot of our movie watching. I'll throw on a movie every Saturday night. Darkbreaker will put movies on Sundays. Sometimes I'll watch movies on a non-movie day if I'm in the Discord. Anyone is welcome to turn on a movie. There are other people in the horde that watch movies with us, right? Hi, Jade. How are you? And Loki was bad yet again, licking himself. Yeah. Oh, well, it's getting to be that time, guys. It's getting to be that time. If Dawn of the Dead is Zombie 1 in Italy, does that mean Night of the Living Dead is Zombie 0? Right? Yeah, it's also known as Zombie 2. Zombi 2. Or it's also known in America as Zombie. Zombie. But yeah, and it is about that time. This stream is shorter than most of my other streams. Yesterday I was at the mall near me and there was kids dressed in costumes and going from store to store trick-or-treating. Nice. Early trick-or-treating. Fun. I wonder, did they get to go out twice? But yes, Halloween's coming. I cannot wait. That's Friday, next Friday. Not this Friday, but the Friday coming. Yeah, we might as well get into our most of the kids do trunk or treating now, which is big here too. I live in a trailer park, so hopefully we'll have quite a bit of kids. Hello, baby. Loki, out of the food. He comes in to take a look at what I have behind me. Everyone says, hey, babe. What? Where'd you find him at?
Walmart.
What? Really?
Shit you not. Why would I lie about that?
They never have these.
Two of them sitting there.
Nice. Oh, Heavy just got me something to add to my collection because I don't have this one. It's the Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, the ultimate action figure. Yeah, when he goes out with Loki, he goes and runs around and does things and then stops off at places. And I've not seen Walmart carry anything like this. The fact that they have carrying NECA here. In the States, you guys have a lot of NECA and bloody, disgusting stuff in your Walmarts. We don't have that here. So I'm blown away that it is Slipknot. It is. I just need more space now. But yeah, this was, I'm pretty sure the lights are going to mess it up. But it's The Curse of Michael Myers. That's pretty fucking cool. I like getting little horror stuff. It's my favorites. That's how I got most of my collection, though. Most of those up there. Now I just got to find the space. Where do I put it? I need bookshelves. I need 2 bookshelves to put right there. And it's too bad I have a closet. Because that wall could have been like bookshelves as well. But he'd probably go in the living room because a lot of my, I know, right? Damn. He'll probably go in my living room because I have a Michael Myers set up in my living room as well. I feel you on that. Need bookshelves myself. That and a coffee cup hanger. Oh, I got coffee cup hangers as historical squid. That I did get. Bone Witch, thank you so much for the hydration. I hope you're doing good. Yeah. We decided that depending on where we're going in 2 years, that when we do buy a place, it's going to have a room that's just going to be my collectibles. That's just going to be my office. It's going to be big enough I can put everything up. We turned one of our closets into a display case after removing the doors. I would do that, but I have stuff in there. Right? I was thinking about that, removing the shelf that's in there and actually put shelving in there and remove the doors. I was thinking about that. Then I'm like, well, where do I put this other stuff that's in there? I have my cosplay hanging in there and other things. And lining the walls with mirrors. That's pretty cool, Pixie. That is pretty cool, right? Your cupboards are full of coffee cups and I need space. I feel you. I am a collector of coffee mugs, especially horror coffee mugs. And I like the one-off coffee mugs. And I actually had to, when I was downsizing, I got rid of a lot of mugs that I don't actually like or use. And I bought these hooks that screw in at the top of inside the cabinet. So there are screws and they have like these little hooks on them. And I screwed them, they're screwed into the bottom of the shelving unit so that I can just hang my cups there. So I have them going across the whole bottom in the cabinet. You saw a TCM coffee mug recently, a Spirit Halloween. Loki! Out! Out! He's eating the goddamn cat food. And he's not been a good boy. At night, he licks his incision. I found him this morning. He couldn't get his legs out of his onesie because he pulled his legs into his onesie so he can lick at his incision. And for those of you that don't know, Loki was neutered on Tuesday. So, Loki. And yeah, so now he's coming into this room, Speedy. Before he wouldn't. My new house has an unfurnished room in the basement. I'm going to make it into my guest streaming and hangout space. Exciting, Jade. Exciting. He is a little stinker. I don't know. He comes into this room now. Him and Fusa had a face-off the other day. They had a face-off, literally face-to-face, face-off. And I guess he decided that she's no longer the big bad kitty that she is. It was a YouTuber who was showing it. Oh, nice, Slipknot. For my pups after surgery, we used an inflated. I tried that historical. He got out of it. I have a donut that blows up and tightens around the neck. And I also have a soft cone. The blow up donut around his neck, he figured out how to squeeze his head out of it. So that didn't work. Then I put a soft cone on him. And well, that doesn't work either. He then whines and gets stuck in his crate because he can't move with the cone on. And it's a soft cone, so he should be able to lay down. So then we got him a medical onesie. And I found him this morning, like I said, legs pulled into the onesie so he can push it down so he can lick the incision. I can't win. So I just pray that it doesn't get infected and that he doesn't rip open the stitches, because if that's the case, it means another vet visit, means more anesthetic, and it means more money. Oh God, Deadwalk. I don't even know how I did it with Chico, you know? But Chico was more controllable. More money, yeah. You have tried everything. I have tried everything, Jade. I have tried everything. The only thing I haven't tried is putting a bandage on that area with duct tape. And no, I wouldn't do that. The only time he licks it is at night when he goes into his crate, right? Nobody's there to say no licking, Loki. But at least during the day, we can keep an eye on him. He'll rip it off, Speedy. He'll rip it off. Just like he finds a way to lick it. We've tried everything. Even his sleepy medication doesn't make him fucking sleepy. Have you seen the Fanta soda cans with Chucky? I have seen them online, Slipknot. I have not seen them locally, no, but I have seen them online. Under the onesie, he would still rip at it. So when his paw was hurt, we wrapped his paw up as well and then put a sock on it and taped the sock over. He ate through the sock to rip off the bandage. He's just a stubborn bastard. It's just a stubborn bastard. That's all. I just praying that it doesn't get infected and he doesn't rip the stitches open. There's not much else I can do. When you put the cone on him, it gets stuck in his crate and he's not comfortable sleeping outside of his crate because he's crate trained. And his crate's big enough, but when you have a cone on your head, it gets stuck. Come here, Meatball. Come here, say hi. Come, up, up, up. No cat food. Up, come here. No cat food. Say hi to everybody before credits. Come here. No cat. He's going for the cat food. Come here. Come up. No cat food. Come on. No cat food. Let's go. Come. Up, up, up. No? Anyways, he's a big boy. Yeah, it's rough. When my youngest got fixed, they gave him extra sedation before he left because he was so chaotic. The cone was terrifying. No cat food. Loki. Oh my God. He's like, nah, bitch, I'm going for it. I'm going for the cat food and you can't stop me. That's exactly what he's saying. All right, let's do our credits so I can get him out of the cat food. Oh, thank you guys so very much for sharing your time with me today. Thank you for coming into Coffee Chat of Horrors, Season 8, Episode 1. If you missed anything from CCOH today, it will be in chapters over on YouTube so you can catch the VOD. We will be streaming tomorrow at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. We're going to be deep diving into Sam from the Trick or Treat movie, as well as playing some spooky games. Thank you for streaming and the amazing CCOH. Thank you for being here, Pixie. I really do appreciate it. Riggs, I will see you guys later. Have an amazing rest of your weekend. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and I will slash you all later. Bye.